Hi everybody, back again, Spice Field Kitchen. It's me, Chief Operating Officer Steve Baker, and
Chef and founder, Ben Bebenroth.
we just got done rocking some fantastic fermented hot sauce using jalapenos and serranos.
And beets, because your hands are purple.
Wow. And now, we're gonna check it out. We're gonna do a little bit of our pepper roasting, and that's what this is about today, right? Because we're putting up peppers. So what we're using is these beautiful red Carmen peppers, and you can see we have them growing right back in here behind us.
There they are.
Otherwise known as the Corno de Toro, the bullhorns.
They're amazing.
And we're gonna head on over here and we're gonna do some roasting.
So we're gonna roast these peppers on a hardwood fire. So this is a mixture of hardwood and charcoal. And we burned it down until it got to a super hot state with white coals, right? So you don't want to put this on with an active fire like you see right there. But I mean, I can't even hold my hand over that for more than a minute. And we're putting these peppers directly onto those coals, not on a grill grate above it. So it needs that direct heat transfer to shed that skin. Ready for it?
Yeah.
Get after it.
So right on the coals, huh?
Right on the coals, sir.
You're cooking them right on the coals.
Awesome. I'm glad you did that. See how close these two peppers are? These peppers are cold. The coals are very hot. The more space you give between your vegetables when they're roasting right on the coals, the more air can circulate around it and the faster it's going to cook. That was great.
All right, so these are gonna take about 5 minutes on each side.
Roughly?
Then we're gonna flip them over and we'll come back. How's that look, Captain?
Perfect.
Whammy.
Ready to go attend to those peppers?
Absolutely.
Let's check them.
All right, so we're back at the peppers. It's been about 5 minutes, and so we're gonna go ahead and rotate them over. I'm gonna start with the first one I put down.
Let's check it.
Take a look at that.
Nice.
What do you
That's
think
awesome.
about that?
So what I think about that is everything needs to be black. Anywhere that is still flesh colored, it's not going to release that skin. So you got to get that back down over to some hot heat. There you go. Just like a quarter turn if you have to at a time.
All right, so let's take a look at this one.
Nice. So you got a good surface. That'll probably slip away. I'd just let it go. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So we got this one over here.
Nice.
We got a good, nice color over on that side. We'll roll it over. Come over here and check on this one. Look at that, all the way down. Beautiful.
So one of the things I like to do when we're roasting vegetables is always to continue the heat. So this seems chaotic, right? Lots of coals blowing all over the place, but generating a little bit of airflow goes a long way, especially when you flip these peppers. You don't want to put them back in the exact spot that you pulled them from. The reason being is there's a ton of moisture coming out of this vegetable and it's shooting down onto that charcoal, cooling down that area. So when you flip them, you actually want to move it to new territory that's super, super hot, fresh coals. Nice. If you can't hear it fanning, you're not fanning hard enough. Real nice. This is a great sound. That action, like that snap, crackle, pop, it's like letting all this skin loose, it's hissing out of the side. Very, very difficult to get this same action on a gas grill. I mean, right now you're cooking at probably 900, 1200 degrees right there. Gas grill is gonna max out at like 750.
Yeah.
So you're gonna just cook that pepper to mush before you have actually broken that skin away from the flesh of it at all.
All right, we'll come back and check on these in a couple minutes. All right, everybody, Ben is bringing back the peppers, and we're gonna take a look at what we got. What do you got there?
All right, so these are the Carmens. You can see on all sides, super, super charred, but collectively, probably only on the grill for about 10 or 12 minutes. Boom.
So here's what we're doing. We're taking a bowl, we're flipping it over, and we are allowing this to steam itself, and it'll help release those skins that much easier.
So if you're only doing this in a small level or with a couple of jalapenos at home, or a couple of these peppers, you can put it into a Tupperware container, put a lid on it, put it in the cooler, or in the fridge rather. You can also stretch a piece of plastic wrap over the top of the bowl. Basically what you have to do is catch that steam and that heat. And then that condensation will gather on the inside of this bowl, but guess what? That condensation is also gathering between the flesh of that pepper and the skin of that pepper.
How about that?
So when it does that, it makes that skin that's charred super easy to slip away. If you skip this step, the skin's gonna stick. if you don't peel these peppers while they're still warm and that steam kind of moisture barrier is there, put them in the fridge overnight with the black skin still on them, you got a lot of work ahead of you tomorrow. I can say that because I did it last week.
I was gonna say, that explains why I struggled with it last time.
And I'm gonna start peeling these peppers. Let's see. Ooh, look at all that steam coming off.
So we have our peaches all diced up and ready to go, and now we're gonna talk about peppers and condensation.
Here it goes. All right, so just uncovered this bowl of the Carmen peppers, and you can see what's lining the inside of that. That is exactly what we needed to happen. That's some flavorful steam right there, so we'll throw it back in. Steve, why don't you grab a pepper in there? We're gonna do this together. So I like to take the pepper and just try to pull on lightly on the outside of it, and the skins from the tip usually come away pretty easily. That time did not very easily. So just get that going, and then a little dunk in some cool water. I like to use a bowl of water and not running water, because running water is taking flavor constantly away from this. What we want is a concentration of flavor. So if we're gonna take this charry flavor away small bit by bit, we wanna use a concentration of water. Okay. There we go. All right, so how's yours? Coming away pretty easy?
Skinned and all right.
Nice. Mine's being a little bit more difficult. I thought you were gonna have problems with it, not me. All right. Oh. Okay, so move that over so folks can see. All right, so here's the deal. We've got our pepper. It's mostly skinned of all the char. I just like to take my thumb and open it up and pull that seed pod out, okay? Now you'll notice we have all these seeds kind of hanging on there. So I just grab this pepper, hold it up, and use my fingers to run down just like that. So I'll do it on this side. Boom. So there we go. That's our roasted pepper fillet. Nice thing about doing this outside, composting's right there with you. So here we are once again, totally charred. I'll just try to pull the tip of this off a little bit. Okay, it's not wanting to come free very nicely, a little bit. And then we'll just give it a quick dunk in some cold water. And then these skins really start to fall away really easily. Once again, because they're warm, because this is a fresh action, it's easy to handle. If this was in your fridge overnight, I mean, these things would be welded on there almost again. Okay. So also on a cutting board, you can do this on the cutting board as well, where you're using the back of your hand just to push the skins away nicely, and then flipping open that pepper pod and just bring all those seeds out of there like that. Flip it over again, get all that charred material off of there. And as you can see, they're really nice fillets of roasted peppers.
So besides what we're making, what could you be doing with the rest of your roasted peppers as you're putting them up for the season?
Okay, so speaking of putting up peppers, one of the things that I do is I'll just take these fillets as they are and pack them into little sandwich bags and drizzle a bit of olive oil on the top of them and then put them in my freezer. So while I have these little bags of frozen peppers, I take this and I mix it with dried chilies that I rehydrate, garlic and onions, and then this is a start to my beans, start to my chili. This brings a lot of flavor into vegan dishes because of the char, because of the smoke. You get that kind of like grilled meat, bacony sort of background that's really tough to achieve after you make a vegetarian or a vegan commitment to dining. So, you know, it's nice to have around. Also, obviously, if you're familiar with sauce romesco, which is a puree of toasted almonds, roasted red peppers, a little bit of vinegar, Parmesan cheese, and olive oil, there's no better start than your own roasted peppers. The only other way to really get this is a canned product, usually imported, and you're always going to get a little bit of that canned taste in the back of it. You can avoid that by doing it yourself. Cool. So we've got our roasted peppers. This water, though you may be tempted to say strain this off and use it for beans or for a stock, it's really concentrated char flavor, and if it reduces it all, it becomes overwhelming, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Wow, all right.
You go ahead and cut up some of these peppers and show folks like how you would chiffonade a pepper, if you will. We want kind of a wide ribbon cut to it.
Huh. So if you can see, we'll take your filet that you have down here,
Nice.
and you're gonna roll that bad boy up just like that. Now he said a wide ribbon,
Yep.
so do something.
Nice.
Wider?
Beautiful. No, it's great because this is the flavor that we really want to distribute to the most of this salad, right? We want everything to be in about the same size pieces, but really large chunks of roasted peppers. Number one, they're kind of slippery and soft, so my kids kind of have a texture aversion to them. But I've found that if I cut them up into small pieces and then mix it into the inherent body of the salad, they never know and they actually love the flavor. It's when I ask them to eat like, oh, eat this like slippery noodle of a red pepper, they're not into that. And I really can't blame them.